Episode 48, which feels really surreal in the world of Zara and Sarah. And yes, it's Sunday, it's bank holiday, and we have Stef from Fem. So I met Stef when I went to the Women's Empowerment at Wild and Wild event, which I love their events, don't you?
Love them. I'll be going next month.
Are you going? Yeah, just brings women together, doesn't it? Everybody's got their own story, their own vibe, and I think I left as a newer version of myself. It was just so empowering. So I spoke to you, didn't I, then? And I suppose for me, it's about how did Fem come about, what it's about. I mean, I had a look last night, and it's incredible where you've evolved from and where it's at. So yeah.
Over to me.
Thank
you so much for having me. It's actually my first time, so we have our podcast Outspoken through Fem, but this is the first time I've been asked to be a guest, and I'm usually in your position, so yeah, it's a whole different experience. So thank you so much for having me, and congratulations on the podcast. It's I've been listening. It's incredible what you're doing.
It is, and I think any podcast that empowers women to think differently about themselves, to choose differently, and I think your platform is huge as well for that.
Yeah, the story of Fem, I mean, where do I start? I mean, it's a long journey before which I suppose we can get into in a minute, but how Fem is today is I'm one of three founders, so it's myself, Laura and Sarah, and we are all employed by a company called Una Health. So they've been trading since 2009 and supply direct into the NHS, an incredible female-led brand. And they've done some incredible things over the last decade. But 3 years ago, they were looking for new avenues of growth on a B2C model, and especially in women's health, because that's where they feel like, they want to make a difference. That's where they wanted to put their energy. So they brought me in initially to talk about an all-in-one blood pregnancy test and how we position that in the UK compared to like monotonous urine testing in women, especially those that have been on a long fertility journey where it's so triggering to get up every morning and do a pregnancy test. And so that was really how I came part of the business. And then after around 6 months, we went to the fertility show in London, and we realised there's like 2,500 people going into that hall over those 2 days. And I was like, searching for answers, and really in desperate need for those answers as well, because they've been trying for, if it's NHS, it's over 2 years. It depends, how much financial money you have yourself if you can go into private. And I said, this needs to be online. And I remember we're actually in the pub, and I just introduced Sarah to scampi fries. She'd never had them. I was like, guys, when you go to the pub, we've got to get a Prosecco and scampi fries. She's like, what are these? And now she's addicted. And we always talk about this moment of when people say, how did Fem evolve? And she literally just said, just do it. And I was like, sorry. She was like, get a team, I'll get you, a pot of money, and just do it. And, if Fee's listening, who is our MD, she's incredible. She'll be like, there's a little bit more to that, because obviously we had to go through emotions getting this money. But for me, it really did feel like that. And that's what I did. It was 7 months offline. I had a team of 5 incredible girls. And we just wanted a one-stop shop for fertility. So not if you're in the depths of IVF, but if you are just trying to explore your fertility status. So, how many eggs have you got left in your AMH reserve? Have you done a sperm test? Is the lubricant that you're using even sperm safe? Because so many people are using lube that actually kills the sperm.
Really?
Yeah.
Do you know, I wouldn't even. Do you know, I wouldn't. That's really.
Yeah. So there's just a lot of things that people didn't know, and I suppose you go to places like Look Fantastic for like makeup, you go to ASOS for your clothes, but where do you actually go for your fertility status?
And it's so important as well, isn't it, to understand all
where
of
you're
these things.
We're getting pregnant later. And I think when we go back to really where, our education comes from and looking at the school, it's like we're only ever taught not to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Don't get pregnant. Don't get pregnant.
Yeah, that's true.
Take this pill, it's for your skin, but really your mum don't want you to get pregnant.
And she's got bad skin.
Yeah. And then when you want to get pregnant, and it's going really now into really late 20s, even mid 30s, that we are only just thinking about having children as women, is that often our bodies aren't made to have children at that age, and then we come into difficulties, and where'd you go? So that's what Fem's about.
We're not educated, are we? And that's the important part.
And
nobody educates us, and then when we get to that point of, well, it's not happening for me, and for so many people is, and so that's where you come in.
That is where it came, and that's what Fem's about. And I suppose for the first year of trading, so we're only 15 months old, we were all about fertility and being that known for fertility, and that was, it was incredible to have Amy Hart, who was originally from Love Island. She went on to Loose Women and did a fertility MOT. Found out her AMH was so low, she had to go on to freeze her eggs, and she documented that all over YouTube, which is why we chose Amy to be our brand ambassador. Yeah. Because I think she's just a girl's girl as well.
Don't you
she's
love
real. I love her.
Just love real people with real issues. I'm here for them.
Exactly. I think that's why we connected as well, because on that day we had to listen to like 45 different women's story, and then in the toilet we were like, hey.
It was quite relatable, I think, because I think we spoke about, in your hardest times, you don't see a way out, do you? Your life's on the floor in front of you, and I suppose it's what you do in them moments, isn't it, and what you choose to do. Yeah. And even when it doesn't feel like a way out. Yeah. And then we evolve, and things evolve from that, because your passion and drive is there for different for yourself. I remember that conversation quite well, actually.
I think for me, the key thing is knowing that every single one of us have been on a journey. I feel like I have pretty much everything I've ever wanted now. I'm a big manifestor, law of attraction girl. But if I told you exactly how I got to this day, you'd be like, are you okay? It was not easy. And I think you see people that are successful, or, that have done incredible things. And I see it all the time with Fem. Most of the brands that we stock are women that have been through like a horrendous journey, and have gone on to create something from that. And I think that's the really powerful thing about women, is that we also don't want other women to suffer. So we're like, we're going to make this better for you.
Yeah. That's so 100%. True. I suppose that's this is where we evolve from. And I think there's so much power in your hardest times. There's so much power in actually, what can I do in this? And I think for us is sharing that journey. And for you found a real gap for them for people of understanding, right, okay, I want a baby, but it's not happening. I can turn to Fem and find them things. That's incredible.
Yeah, and I think the great thing about Fem is, because we are a startup, but we are part of a bigger business, is that we haven't got those huge KPIs, those huge sales targets. So it never feels like you're shopping with a shop. It's like, it's quite, because it's such an emotional, personal journey. The last thing you need is a cart telling you, it's the penny sale, it's 3 for 2, do you want this? We're more about speak to our advisors live, let us help you, let us understand, here are the free resources, and that's what makes us different. I feel incredibly blessed to work with the women that I do, and to be doing the job that I'm doing.
So there's other things apart from fertility? So it's any women's
health? Yeah, so we really pivoted in Q4 last year to do the whole cycle from periods to menopause. So that really is from looking at, especially Gen Z now, is the organic period products, and looking at actually when you look at like Tampax and Always, it's not great, guys, what's in it. So it's really about there's a lot of chemicals. So
I think I've lived under a rock somewhere. I feel like I'm on we're not educated.
Well, you don't know until you're in it. I definitely didn't know.
No. So carry on. I think I need this information.
Yeah, so I personally switched to organic period products about a year ago, just because of working with such incredible brands like Dame, Grace and Green, Day, Hey Girls, who really are on about, reusable period products as well. So we're looking after the sustainability piece, but also it's actually what's in it. Because you're wearing it for like 4 or 5 hours a day in your most intimate area where your skin's the thinnest. So we really do periods to menopause. And I think when we were focusing just on fertility, it's just part of our journey. So we introduced a slogan about embracing your cycle. And I think that's really what Fem is about, is understanding your cycle, firstly, and your hormones, and then Fem supporting you all the way through, from maybe pain relief, symptom relief, could be endo, PCOS, diagnosis, and then just nurturing that journey, really.
Do you know what?
Yeah.
The universe is working all the time, because I need
You
somebody. I
struggle, don't
massively struggle.
Really?
But you are acknowledging it again. It is
I think I've got
understanding.
PMDD.
Oh, right, okay.
It's so extreme. I go from 2 weeks of on top of the world, Queen Sarah Luby,
Yeah.
and from 14 onwards,
Yeah,
this decline is huge.
yeah,
I can't even see the light.
yeah.
It gets dark. Not dark, I can't do anything, but I'm functioning, but I'm not functioning to where I should be.
Yeah.
So for example, I've come to you, and is that what you would then
Yeah.
help me with?
I mean, we're not, and I have to say this, we're not we're not medically trained.
Mm.
So we always say, go and see your doctor.
Absolutely.
But I think we're more there for signposting, because, I mean, you can't get in with your doctor, can you?
I'm always in the
So we have like a lot of charities that we work with, support team, free resources. We have a lot of practitioners on our books that you could help you privately. I even spoke to someone the other day that does DNA testing, and she'd had testing done to see if she was celiac or gluten intolerant, and it was both negative. She had this DNA testing and she was really severe, but those tests hadn't brought it up. So she cut gluten out for, I think it's 14 months now, and her symptoms for adeno, which is a form of, it's a bit like adeno, is pretty much gone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really?
So it's about Fem really isn't about diagnosing you, because we're not
Supporting
medically
you.
trained, but it's just pointing me in the right direction
And
sometimes.
I think I've really got to sit with my cycle and understand it, because I don't, and I'm just winging it each month.
Yeah.
And actually, I need to start
Understanding it.
understanding
You
it.
need a temp drop, that's what you need.
I was looking at that
Yeah.
on your. I was looking on the Instagram I was knee deep in it last night. It was like, all the way in,
Yeah.
and I saw that.
Yeah. So it's an incredible piece of tech that we brought over from the US. So it's exclusive to Fem in the UK and Ireland, and you wear it whilst you sleep. So it's an armband that you pop on whilst you sleep. There's a little sensor in it, you press the button, and while you're sleeping, it's taking thousands of readings an hour on your basal body temperature. So that fluctuates all the way through your cycle, and it syncs with your app. So it holds data for 72 hours. So if you forget that morning, like I usually do, it doesn't matter, as long as you sync it in 72 hours, and it basically tracks your cycle. So it'll tell you when you're ovulating, if you have ovulated, when your periods come in, you can track your sleep, you can track your mood. And it's a really powerful set of data to pass it on to a practitioner if you are seeing anyone for symptoms, because they can see so much more than you going, well, on these dates I feel like this.
Yeah.
So it's a lifetime device. So it's from literally can be used from periods to menopause. So it's an investment. It's like over £200, but it can really help you to understand your own body.
And I think it's so important that we educate women. I mean, I feel like I'm being educated right now, but and I'm 39, and what's scary is that you go to school, don't you? Nobody teaches you, and like you say, the preventative measure, but nobody says this is your body and this is what's going to happen. It's really sad, isn't it? It's only when you come up against maybe fertility issues or hormones. Good grief.
But we always get blamed ourselves, right? I was looking at, so we're about to launch a campaign on men's fertility, and it's always put to the women. 51% of infertility is on the man, but they always look at us.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So we're doing like a big piece around that stigma as well around men and fertility issues. But it's always like the woman's having the treatment, the woman's having the investigations, and the guy just turns up for moral support.
Yeah.
But 51% of the time, it is the man. But we live in a man's world, right? So
Well, that was like me, because when I was trying for Oliver, it wasn't happening. And I said to Aaron, well, you need to go for the test. And he was like, I am not going for the test. Excuse me?
yeah.
Because you are a part of this journey. And it wasn't because he didn't want a baby, it's just because it was like, well, it won't be me.
Won't be
Yeah.
me. Yeah.
So we went, I paid private to go, And it's like, it is that stigma, actually, it's got to be the woman.
It's a masculine thing, isn't
It
it,
is.
for a man?
Yeah.
I think. And that comes with its own conversations. But I mean, for me, as a femme founder, you know, our founders are quite open to their fertility journey and what led us all to create Femme. But for me, I fell pregnant naturally. I had no issues. I actually didn't know we were trying. It wasn't planned. But my journey as to why it has brought me to Femme has its own, I suppose, story. And I think with women, there is always a story. You know, we either have, you rarely hear of people going, I had a brilliant pregnancy, I had a great birth, and I'm a brilliant mum.
Yeah.
You know, but again, we're not educated about what that's going to look like. And for me, it was definitely the risk. So I had sepsis during birth, and so did my daughter B, and we were in hospital for nearly a month. I went into intensive care on day 9.
Wow.
And she actually fought the infection really quickly. She was okay by day 5, but by day 9, this rash just came all the way up my left-hand side of my body. And I remember being in intensive care, and this quite good-looking doctor came over in not doctor clothes, and he was like really like, he looked like, I don't know, he looked like the Spanish mafia or something. I was like, and he came over and he picked up his phone and he was like, why are you disturbing me? I'm with a really ill patient. And he got off the phone and I said, oh my God, I don't want to disturb you. Like, go. And he was like, I was on about you. And I was like, what? Because I think, again, in the moment, you don't realise this is like how serious it is. And I've never even heard of sepsis.
Sepsis is so scary. It can literally take your life, can't it? Just like that.
Yeah, it's one of the biggest silent killers there is.
And that's, we're not educated about sepsis either.
No.
That's a whole different podcast.
No. So it's really important for me to have, and I think if all the founders were here, they'd all have their own message. But for me, it's really about the risks of pregnancy. It's about the mental health impact. I think for me as well, it's understanding that you're still a person at the end of that journey. So you still have a life to live.
Yeah.
And I think I really lost that for many, many years. I like single mum from 6 weeks old. So got out of the hospital after she was 4 weeks. And then 2 weeks later, me and her dad split up. And had to put my house on Airbnb because I couldn't afford the mortgage. I had to go and live in my sister's dining room. And it was just a really difficult time. And I think a lot of the time as well is I want to get the message that people aren't alone, because it's a very lonely journey.
Yeah.
Very lonely. And
Yeah.
especially maternity leave. Like, I found that horrendous.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it can be, I don't think we really put out there how vulnerable you are in them times. Like, you know, Instagram sometimes we can make it look so easy, but in the times of having a baby, you feel so vulnerable. I can always feel it, that vulnerability of like, I've got this baby, my mental health is all over the place, my hormones all over the place. And sometimes it's, you're looking for that validation, somebody to let you know it's okay, and sometimes it's not there either, is it?
No.
It's not there, and it's like, yeah, it's really, you know, so through your heart, because that must have been really difficult. And that's how we related, didn't it?
Yeah, I think it was.
You know, I think because I left Aaron, but my boys were older, and it's like almost like looking at your life and pieces in front of you, isn't it? And but also we learn so much in them times. Like, I almost think I wouldn't be this person today from that the hard times.
Absolutely.
It's like,
and it's the fight as well. I think once you have a child, like, it's not just about you.
yeah.
And I think when it was just me, I could really go back to my mum and dad's, you know, and I'd come from a really good support network emotionally, and I wouldn't say financially. I think that really was a massive struggle, because my mum and dad, you know, get by as well, but they have 5 daughters, so there's 5 of us, yeah. So, but yeah, I think you have to fight, and you have to. I wanted to prove to B that, you know, you can get through things, and also never for her to feel like how I did. So I've been like putting money away for her, like it's like 25 quid a month, but like since I could, because I just really struggled financially, like, and I was not young, like I was 30 when I had her, but it's, you know, you live paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely.
And then somebody reduces your paycheck to £580 maternity pay, and it's like, well, how am I going to live off that?
Yeah.
As a single mum.
Yeah.
And there's so many people going through the same thing, don't it? And cost of living now is so high as well. I think there's so many people that struggle, you know, and you want to do all these things with your children, and on maternity leave you want to go and do these things, but where's the money?
I know.
Where is that, like, support? And it's so hard. But I think there's such a powerful message there, is that, you know, when you do have children, it changes, doesn't it? You change everything for them, like, you know, saving that money. It's like that drive, that passion for different for your children. Yes, I've been through this hard time, but what I want to teach them in that hard time is how we bounce back.
Exactly.
Because like people said to me when I was leaving Aaron after 16 years, oh, you're going to traumatise them, they're going to be damaged, more damaged to stay within the unhealthy relationship. I said, but what if I build resilience in them from this? What if I say to them, in your life it's going to be hard times, but it's how we bounce back. My dad died at 12. I had no resilience built into me. It was just like, this has happened, and I was, you know, you're on the floor. Whereas I'm trying to teach them, actually, it's not what happens to us. It's how we bounce back.
Exactly.
And we are their biggest role models for that. And I think it's important for them to see the vulnerability of that as well. And like, I think it's dead important, like it's been for me, is showing them actually that I don't have it all together either. Like, because I don't want them to grow up as, well, mum did it. Actually, sometimes I haven't, and that's okay, isn't it, as well?
Well, you can't always protect them, can you? Because then they're never going to learn.
Because they're never going to learn.
But you want to. Like, I want to so much with B. Like,
How old is she?
She's 7 this year. And she won't listen to this, so I can say, but our cat died last year, and me and Chris never told them that he got run over because they loved him so much, so they're still looking for him. It's horrendous. And it's gone too far now, and I'm like, why did I do that? I should have just said it. And they're like, every time they see a black cat, they're like, is that Binks? Because they think he's gone for a long walk.
Because we do want to protect them so much, don't we, from the pain of like life, and we want to wrap them up in cotton wool, and like we do, because, you know, to see your children hurt, it's perhaps one of the hardest things I've had to witness, and to offer them, why I'm hurting, to offer them a safe place to hurt as well. It's hard.
It is.
It's hard, but you know what? I'm here for just changing the next generation. Like, I just think all the work that we do in our children is building good adults.
Yeah. There's a lot more awareness now, isn't there? Like, when we were growing up, I mean, we had, 4 channels. I remember Channel 5 coming out being like, yes, another channel. No phones. I mean, that definitely came with its benefits. Because I feel like, even just going back to, like, not having any money when you're on maternity leave, is then you see people on social media doing it very different. I mean, the Easter this year, I just couldn't even look at social media. It's become, I feel like we go Christmas, Valentine's Day, Easter, and every single event is now this huge thing, and it's making women and parents feel
inferior.
It is.
And you know what? I think it's hard, isn't it? Because you get that people, you know, if they can afford it, that's absolutely great, and it's great that it's there. But also, there's another side to it, is there's a lot of families and a lot of mums who are just getting by, and you know, I sort of this half term went back to basics with the boys, because I want them to know what basics is. We pack a picnic and we go to the park. They're the memories that they'll always remember. But for the mums who are absolutely just getting through the day, just being able to feed the children, the mental health is just not great. Because I felt it, and with like I've been there, you know, I remember leaving Aaron and I didn't have anything. Nothing. I had to start from scratch. Really humbling. I love that I went through it.
It is, and I do feel like my children don't have that, and I'm doing exactly what you said in the May half term. So we've been away at Easter, just to the caravan, and we've been to the zoo, and we have done quite a bit. Is the May half term, with the mum being off a week, I'm going to do the same. They've got to learn to be bored.
So
and I don't think they are anymore. I mean, we had nothing. We had 6 weeks holiday in the summer. Nothing.
We'd just be out. We'd just be. I think friends used to knock on the door. Imagine your roller skates, and we'd be out. But
that's true happiness, and that's being a kid. And I think the issue is now, because life has become so fast paced, we think our children need to be fast paced. Actually, the most powerful thing you can do for your child is let them be bored. I don't like, I used to be one of these people who used to see like on Instagram, like, oh, they're doing that, so I must do that. Do you know what? I'm taking, that's my pressure. I'm taking the foot off. And do you know what? Like, I want my boys to be able to go, right, I don't need to do anything today when they're adults. And if I keep consuming them, because it's so easily done, then they're going to become them adults who think they've got to run at a fast pace. So I'm trying to take it back to actually what's important. And do you know what they really want? It's just me. Play Lego on the floor.
That's all they want.
Because
some days I'll say, oh, I've booked here, we're going there, and she'll be like, oh, can't we just stay? But I think you've got to provide these experiences.
So to any women, or any men, because there'll be single dads as well, who think they've got to keep giving and they've got to keep showing up and you've got to keep spending money and you've got to do this and this, just let me tell you one thing. Your children just want connection. They just want you. Whether that means sitting on the floor playing Lego, doesn't mean you've got to be spending £200 at Splash Landing and Alton Towers. And it's the memory, what they'll always remember is how you made them feel.
Exactly.
And, you know, I forget that sometimes, and I still go out and spend money on them because, you know, but I also know what's important as well. It's like over the half term, I was just like, we're just going, and do you know what? They loved it. I packed this picnic and we went to play tennis. And do you know what? I felt like I was at Wimbledon. And like, they were just to watch them do the simple things. And I think that's what we forget, don't we, sometimes?
And there's a huge digital detox coming down the line, I'd say, in the next 5 years. We're already seeing the start of it. So we're seeing like Motorola's come back with the flip phones. So there's quite a few now phones that you can't have apps on. And disposable cameras are back. So people are going out with no phones and then they want to take photos. So they're taking these cameras out and people don't want it. Like, I think it'll always be around, but I think we're losing connection for sure.
100%.
And we'll even have it, like me and my partner Chris, like we'll be watching something on the telly and then every single break or we're like scrolling. Well, how about we just turn to each other and talk? Because I can tell you the sex will be better, the connection will be better, everything would get better if we weren't on those phones.
It's so true. It's just habit though, isn't it? I mean, I've got nobody turned to on the sofa, so I do turn to the phones and scroll.
But it's the habit.
But it's the habit, isn't it? And like for me, I find like, if I've got too much going on, I'll pretend it's not happening and then I'll scroll as well. We are losing touch with true connection with people.
Well, we've already lost community. I mean, you may be different, but we don't know our neighbours anymore. You know, there was the term, it takes a village with a child. Well, women now don't have that village around.
I find that really sad.
And then we also have to work. So, like, you know, go back, we were not working as women. We were looking after the home and nurturing the children. And we also had mothers and grandmothers and neighbours and everybody helping. And now all of a sudden we're quite isolated. We're very high pressured. We're spinning so many plates. And for a lot of women, we're the breadwinners as well. And that comes with enormous pressure that the man used to carry. But we are wearing a lot of hats, and I think it's taken its toll, especially on our mental health.
Absolutely, on the mental health. And I always think that then affects how you parent. So how you parent, you've got so much going on, like I've got to earn this money, I've got to do this, and then you've also got to parent these little human beings.
Irritable.
And you're irritable because you're trying to juggle so much stuff, and it's really sad that this world has made us. We've got to be this way. We can't be the calm mum that we want to be because I've got to do this, and this in order to keep the home running.
It's just diluted, isn't it? You would just be a mum. You would just nurture that child and educate that child, and now I mean, I went down to 4 days last March because I was at a breaking point because my daughter has really bad sleep and behaviour issues, and it just doing fem and like travelling, so it's like 40 minutes each way to work and then doing a full day's work, picking her up from breakfast club, after school club, and it just got, you know, with no sleep, she'd be up 4 or 5 times in the night. It just broke me. And I think we found a really good balance now. She's actually started Reiki, and
really?
it's changed our lives.
Really?
Yes.
I've heard that
That's
actually.
I've heard
Is it Nick? Was it
Nick
Nick? Yeah,
does it
yeah.
as well. Yeah, it's
It's
mostly
all to do with
powerful, isn't
energy
it?
and chakras, and she was completely out of line, and she just used to scream and shout. But you know, when you look right back, it's probably all she heard in the womb, because I was in a very, very abusive relationship.
Yeah.
And then the birth was very traumatic. You know, it was emergency C-section, and then sepsis.
A lot of like a lot of chaos, I suppose.
A lot of chaos, and I think that is a great word to describe it, because that's how it's felt for the last 5 years raising her. And it's only now, when I'm really trying to started counselling myself and going back to Reiki myself and doing some work on the trauma of the pregnancy, because I couldn't talk about it for 4 years. And then her going to Reiki, I feel like we found some peace in the house, which is very welcomed.
Yeah, and I think it's a journey into understanding, healing yourself a little bit, and like, we avoid it though, don't we? Because it's hard. It's hard to go through the process of going through a hard time, and we've just spoke about that, haven't we? It's like, healing is damn hard work, but the outcome, that calmer life. So, Fem.
Yes.
So for any woman, I suppose, who wants to know more about their cycle, wants to know more about themselves, wants maybe some guidance on fertility, anything related to that, they can go onto your website, and I went on, and you can put what you're after,
fill in a form, speak to us on the chat. And you really may not even know at that point what you need. I mean, we work with a lot of virtual IVF clinics as well, so we can always like signpost them where it's like really affordable to have a remote consultation. Or you could be taking 1 million supplements and you don't even know why, and you can message us. Or you can download one of our free fertility trackers that you can print and fill in at home. And so it's really about, Fem is just, if you want to know more about your cycle, then come along, even if you sign up to our mailing list. You know, we send a weekly newsletter. We're actually working on a question a week, so we answer one question a week. So that'll be through our podcast, through our socials, through our newsletter, free resources, and we welcome questions as well. So it's a great wealth of knowledge.
So I think, it's about, I suppose, educating women who are feeling a bit lost about themselves, who, again, we haven't been educated, but actually Fem is here to educate people and to learn about your body, to learn about your cycle, to learn about, the issues you're coming up against. I will 100% be knee deep in it, because my cycle, like I need to understand it. And I think by understanding it, I'll feel better. I feel out the loop of it. So I'm completely, honestly, everything happens for a reason.
Understanding your body is really
important, because I'm living just month by month, surviving. And I think there's perhaps so many women who can relate to that, because we don't know there's a different way.
Yes.
Fem is here to show us, actually, it's about educating. Let's get down to the nitty gritty. I'll have that round my arm.
We'll be in here with them.
Honestly, no, but on a serious note, I think it's so important that we get across how important it is to know your body. And I will honestly say, it's got to be in the next step for me, because I am just like, month to month, what on earth is going on?
I mean, look, we all want to feel better, don't we? We are really living in a world now where wellness is key, and I think it's really trendy as well. It's like the wellness side, which is great. But it is. I mean, definitely wasn't when we were growing up. I mean, I forgot these water bottles at work the other day, and I got to work and I was like, no. And I thought, did my mum even send me with a water bottle? Because I think I just had like a cherryade when I got home.
And it is. Sometimes I was like, because we panic, and I think it's because mum guilt is horrific, or I'm not doing this, and this, and then I have to again take the pressure off. Actually, do you know what, Sarah? They are loved kids. And if you forget the water bottle for one, I always think, God, the ring rings. If you haven't got a water bottle, actually, Sarah, the reality is, it's that pressure again.
It is.
It's that pressure. But honestly, I think what you're doing is incredible. Where are you taking it?
I get asked this a lot, and they're like, "What's your 5-year plan?" I think for us now, is because Fem is up and running, and it really, is quite a robust model now. We've got a great team. I think for us as founders, we're really keen to help women in business. So we're really keen now to take these startups and accelerate them. So we are looking at investment for certain brands. We're helping with investment. We are looking at fulfillment, storage, rolling out into retail. So we class them as like hero products, but brands that we truly believe in from around the globe, not just in the UK, is bringing them to the UK and helping them accelerate and help other women.
Yeah. Amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming on.
No, thanks so much for
It
having
feels like
me.
it's been in the pipeline, hasn't it?
Yeah.
It's my birthday, 26th February, March, April. Like it's been so thank you so much for coming on.
Well done. It's
amazing what you're doing.
Thank you.
I'll be on there, not later because it's bank holiday. We're all
Enjoy.
going out tonight, actually, good grief. But I will, because again, it's what's needed. So happy bank holiday.
Yeah, have a good one.
What are you doing?
Well, I'm actually going, so I'm a Glastonbury girl, and we are going obviously again next month, 3rd year on the trot.
Amazing.
So lucky. But we're doing, there's like 30 of us that go, and we're all having a big garden party at 2:00.
Absolutely
Nice.
amazing.
Yeah.
Well, we're not doing anything that extravagant. We're just heading to the local pub, aren't we? But we're excited. Zara's had a big week this week.
You get the scampi fries.
Hope we don't get a scampi.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I daren't say that. I've never had a scampi fry.
Mal, I hope you're having them this afternoon in WhatsApp me.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I think I've lived under a rock.
Really?
Just yesterday, somebody said to me, they're going to a Gavin and Stacey thingy. I've never watched Gavin and Stacey.
I never watched it until like last month, and we've watched everyone. It's unreal.
So
it's really
that's
good.
something else I've got to do. Sarah Lucas.
Gavin and Stacey with scampi fries.
I've lived
Sure,
under a rock.
tomorrow, hangover day sorted.
Yeah.
I'm driving,
You're
so I'm
welcome.
not safe.
Oh, okay.
She's not safe out the house.
Anyway, happy Sunday, happy bank holiday. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you so much for having me.
Bye.
Bye.